Anyone who's ever taught writing knows that feeling, right? It's Sunday night, you're looking at this mountain of student drafts, and you know the feedback you give is some of the most important work you do. But wow, is it also the most draining? So, what if there was a way to change all that?
And that really gets to the one big question we're all asking. Can we find a better, more efficient, and maybe even more effective way to help our students improve their writing without totally burning ourselves out in the process?
You know, this gets right to the heart of the daily struggle for teachers everywhere. Our time, our energy, it all has limits. But our students' need for good, timely feedback, that feels, well, pretty much endless.
All right, let's tackle this head on. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll unpack that feedback challenge we all know so well. Then we'll get into the surprising promise of AI, but also, separate the hype from the reality. From there, we'll look at how this changes our role as teachers before getting super practical with a workflow you can actually test out yourself. Ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, first up, the feedback challenge. It's that endless cycle, right? You pour all your energy into grading one stack of drafts, and just as you finish, another one appears. It's this constant battle to give every single student the kind of detailed attention they really need to grow.
And when you really break it down, the challenges are a lot. Our time is so limited, but for feedback to stick, students need it now, not 2 weeks from now. And through it all, we have to make sure our feedback is pushing them to think critically, not just lean on us for all the answers. It's a tough balancing act, for sure.
So, with all these challenges, it's really no surprise people are looking for new tools. And that brings us to AI. Could technology actually be part of the solution here?
Well, the early research is pretty compelling. Take this finding from a recent study. They found notable gains in grammar, vocabulary, and coherence for students using AI-assisted feedback. What this is really telling us is that AI seems to be best at nailing those foundational building blocks of writing.
And check this out. Here's the data to prove it. The same study looked at students over 8 weeks. The group that used AI-assisted feedback, they scored an average of 82.3. The group with just the teacher, 75.1. I mean, that's a pretty big jump, right? It shows a real measurable impact.
Okay, but promising data is one thing. To use this stuff effectively, we've got to be smart about this. We need to separate the hype from what's actually real and understand what AI is good at and what it's not.
And this, right here, is the key. It's not about replacement, it's about a smart division of labor. Let the AI be your tireless proofreading assistant. Let it catch all the grammar issues, the mechanics, the coherence, and do it almost instantly. That frees us up to do the stuff that, honestly, only a human teacher can do, helping students build a powerful argument, find their unique voice, and really understand the subtle art of structuring their ideas.
But, and this is a big but, here's a crucial warning from an instructor named Courtney Taylor. She found that if you don't have a clear plan, you can actually end up spending more time fixing the AI's mistakes than you save. The takeaway? This isn't some magic button you can just press. It's a tool, and it needs a smart operator, you.
So, if our job isn't just to be a grammar cop anymore, what does it become? This is where things get really interesting. It's not about being replaced, it's about becoming the orchestrator of a whole new feedback ecosystem.
So think of it like this. The AI is your first line of defense, catching all those surface-level errors. Then, maybe peers can jump in to discuss ideas and clarity. This clears the runway for you, the teacher, to swoop in and focus on the really deep, complex stuff like argumentation and analysis. See? You're not doing all the grunt work anymore. You're directing the whole show.
Basically, your role totally shifts. You go from being the only person giving feedback to being the designer, the architect of the entire feedback experience for your students. You're designing the system, not just correcting the papers.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? Let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through a concrete, step-by-step workflow you can literally try out in your own classroom.
Okay, check out this simple 5-step loop. Step 1, the student writes their first draft. Then, and here's the switch, instead of coming to you, it goes to an AI for a first pass on all the mechanical stuff. Step 3, the student revises based on that AI feedback. Then that cleaner version goes to a peer, who can now focus on the ideas, not the typos. And finally, a much stronger, more polished draft lands on your desk, ready for your expert feedback on the big picture stuff.
Now, just throwing the tool at them isn't enough. We actually have to teach our students how to be critical partners with the AI. Research shows a super important skill here is feedback seeking.
So have them keep a simple log. Ask them, what 3 AI suggestions did you accept and why? What 2 did you reject and why? That one little step, it completely transforms them from just passive users into active, reflective writers. It's a game changer.
All right, so where do you even start with all this? Look, the best way is to just start your own small experiment. See what works for you and your students.
And this quote from a teacher really hits the nail on the head. They said, "Now I'm the teacher who can help them improve it because the AI is able to help others." By letting the AI handle that first pass, this teacher was freed up to do the work that truly matters, the real teaching.
And really, that's the ultimate takeaway here. This is not about replacing what makes a great teacher great. It's about using a new tool smartly to amplify your expertise, to save you time, and, at the end of the day, to help your students become stronger, more confident writers. So the real question isn't if AI is coming to the classroom, it's here. The question is, how are you going to choose to orchestrate it?